Gentlemen, today will be the first installment of a new series that I'm going to be calling If I Could Bring It Back, wherein I talk about accessories and garments from the past that I wish we could bring back into fashion today, here on Big Pretty Man. Hi, and welcome back to Big Pretty Man, the channel for the extra large man who wants to live his life large and in charge. I'm your host, Timothy Big Pretty Crowe, a wardrobe and lifestyle consultant for the extra large man. Okay, today, guys, I thought we would do something a little more fun, a little more exploratory than what I would normally do in one of my tutorial videos, and that is to talk about certain garments and certain accessories from the past that I wish that I could bring back into present fashion. Now, as some of you may have known from my earlier videos, where I talked a little bit about my life and my hobbies, I have, for many years, have been a member of the Society for Creative Anachronism, a group of people that get together and they reenact, ancient battles. They also wear, anything about the medieval world. They dress in medieval clothes. They eat medieval food, do medieval dances, and they also dress in armor with shields and rattan swords and beat the living hell out of each other, which is a lot of fun. I've done it for many years, and so has my fiance Heather, who actually is a Laurel in the SCA, and so therefore I have a lot of knowledge about clothing and what people wore, what people wore in fashion of the centuries gone by, going back to even to the 10th century. And if I don't know it, I promise you that my fiance does. In fact, let me give you some advice. Never watch a medieval-based movie with an expert on medieval clothing. We watched one recently where through all of the movies she kept yelling, they're wearing Tudor and it's supposed to be the 11th century. This is insane. It kind of takes away from the movie, and she was right. That'd be like equivalent of us wearing colonial era clothes here in 2022. So, yeah. But but either way, yes, I always had an interest not only in the fashions of the day, but also in the fashions of the past. And there are a couple of items that have went completely out of fashion, some for centuries, that I wish that we could bring back, not only because of just the style, but some of them will be very practical and useful. Of course, now there are a lot of these items, a lot of things in the past that I would not want to see to come back. Like, I never want to see those big broad ties from the 70s come back. Bell bottoms have made a comeback once or twice, and I'm hoping that's the end of that. So there are, of course, some styles that that need to have died, but there are some that, like I said, I'd like to see come back. And one of the most practical is the first one I want to cover, and that would be pouches. Yes, just like this one. This one actually comes from my pirate garb, as you can see with the pirate thing. But the thing is, if you go back in time, back into medieval time, and beyond, people didn't have pockets, in their clothing. In fact, pockets, from what we can tell, did not show up in Europe until around the end of the 17th century. And pockets may have been actually used in Turkey in the 16th century, and possibly also used in China. But as far as in European clothing, the traditional clothing that we wear here in the West, pockets didn't show up until toward the end of the 17th century. Before that, people wore pouches. They wore belts around their waist, and they had pouches by which they put things in. Of course, after pockets, the pouches, at least for men, disappeared. Also, men as well as women wore bags, with a strap, strapped bags, basically a purse, what we call a purse today. And for women, they have still somehow retained the right to carry a bag with a strap, a purse around. It's become part of their wardrobe. It's still a part of the wardrobe and their accessories. In fact, as we know, purses can run quite expensive for us husbands and boyfriends have had to buy them. But for men, it has been dry as far as we've just been left out in the lurch on this. Men don't carry purses. Now, they've tried several things. We've tried the man purse, as people call it, the man bag. It just didn't, they're still around. You can still get them, but they just don't take off. People see them too much as a feminine accessory. People call them a purse, a merce. It just, in our culture, it's become, the purse is something a female carries, not a male. So, I mean, yes, is that a very gender specific thing? Unfortunately, it is. And though I'd love to see that change, all the attempts that have failed is to really take off. So what do men end up having? Well, they went with the fanny pack. That didn't work. For one thing, you don't need a pouch on the back in your back, so that somebody with really sneaky fingers can steal things from you. They warm around the chest. I've seen that. That doesn't look right. That looks kind of, also it messes up your accessories and your clothes, and what you're trying to do. And you got this big bag around your chest. So none of the alternatives that they've come up with have worked, And what I would love to see come back is just pouches again, because men, we have to do all of our daily carry in our pockets, and you end up with these bulge pockets in the front and bulge pockets, your wallet in your back pocket bulging there, and people try to slim this down and only carry what's essential, and you end up, unlike women, you end up not carrying the things that you probably need through the day. And and especially now in the technological world, I don't know about you, but I carry, I have to carry chargers for my phone. I carry my phone, my car keys, my wallet, and also I vape. So with vaping, I have to carry the vape. I have to carry the e-juice. I have to carry some extra batteries or a charging cord for that. So there's all this stuff. Headphones for your smartphone. All of this stuff we're starting to carry. Women can put that in their purse. Guys, we struggle on where to put this. Coat pockets, back pockets. And a lot of men, the alternative that they've come up with, or it's kind of just evolved, is to carry a backpack. And, I see it all the time. Men in a nice suit, well-dressed, carrying a Jansport or a backpack around. They look like they're about to go to a business meeting in the middle of the woods. It's just not a good look. Now, I've tried to fancy it up with using leather bags and fancier bags and all that, but it just doesn't look right. Now, you do have the old-fashioned briefcase, and they have some more modern versions of that, but still, that's a bit big and cumbersome. It's easy to leave it sitting somewhere, at least with the backpack, it's on your back. So we really haven't had a good alternative. So that's the reason I really wish we could bring back pouches. Think about this. With this pouch like this one, which you hang it on your belt, hang it on your side. One, it wouldn't interfere with your clothes. I could put this on, and it would not interfere with my, with my jacket. My jacket would go over fine. And in here, man, look at all this room. I could put cell phone. I could put chargers. I could put vape equipment. My headphones. Whatever I needed, I could put it in here. And it would be easy access to my side. It's got a clip, like this one's got a fancy clip that you put it. You put it, the ring over it, and then you push that inside. It's very kind of a cool and fashionable looking. With the little mechanism, so that'd be very hard for anyone to try and rob you. They'd have to undo this first, so that would solve that problem. Plus, it's on your side, and it wouldn't be a purse that you're carrying around, a man bag. It wouldn't be some sort of fanny pack on your back, so this could actually solve the problem. We wear things on our belts, cell phone cases. things like that. So I don't see why this would be, you know, and it's also kind of manly. You know, think of the utility belt of you know, of a construction worker, or Batman carries a utility belt. So if he can have pouches on, if Batman can have pouches, we should be able to have pouches. You don't get any more masculine than Batman. So yeah, this is what, you know, when you think about it, you would think that this would be one that a lot of these companies like Coach, or, you know, some of the other leather dealers, that they would come up with something like this. They could make it fashionable, stylish, like this one's made of leather. You could have them made of leather and different types of leather. You could have them that they would match with your belt or with your shoes, you know, or with your decor. You could have a blue one, a brown one. You could have this like an ox blood, you know. So you would think, you know, and have them in different styles. You would think that the fashion world would look on something that would be this practical for men and make it something, you know, make it something fashionable, you know. So I'm really a big advocate if I could bring anything back, and I'm sure a lot of you guys out there right now with a bunch of crap in your pockets and the wallet, you know, on your butt, would love to see pouches come back into fashion. And so if any representatives of Coach or some of the other big leather and purse dealers are out there listening, hey, here's an idea. and I want to cut. Now, pouches are very practical, and I can see them coming back in practical wear. I'm sure a lot of you would, even men out there, like I said, would agree. However, my second one really is not practical at all. It'd be just purely for style. And it received style even back in the day when it came out. And this one, I do not expect ever to come back into modern fashion, even though I love it personally. Where I do often dress in different personas and different eras. I've come to have, just like in more traditional menswear, you know, in the menswear of the past and the fact, you know, I have a few favorites. And one of my favorite hats, you know me, I'm the hat guy. One of my favorite hats from the past that I would love to see come back, love to see somebody wearing it at a dinner party or or a mixer, is what's known as the Chaperone Hat. And of course, I do have a Chaperone Hat. Right here. Now, this, you probably may have seen this hat in movies with a medieval base, or sometimes a Renaissance base, even though it's kind of calm by then. But they're not always historically accurate. But it is a very bizarre hat, and it was very popular in about the 14th or 15th century. In fact, it really hit as a popular fashion hat in about the mid 15th century. By the late 15th century, it had already become passé. It was already kind of gone, which is too bad. It was very popular in Burgundy, and actually it was one of the hats that was shown most in paintings from the Netherlands. So you know, this was a very popular hat. You see it a lot in a lot of art. The Chaperone hat actually has a very interesting history. Originally, for one, a chaperon actually comes from which is more of a French word, which means a hood. It can mean, or a cap. Actually comes from the Latin word cape, which is where we get the word cap as well, and it basically means a hood. And originally, this was a this came from out of a a full hood, and the chaperone was a full hood. That went literally with your face, you know, with your face showing, and it had a cape that hung down, and it had the the long part of the back of the hood would go down, sometimes past down to the mid leg. That was known as an aeropipe, or corvette, and the other part was known as the cape. So or sometimes it was called the pate. That was pate, which means basically the cape. And as you see, like an example here, I'm wearing one. I do have one of those type of hoods. and that I've worn for some events. And as you can see here, this is the more traditional form, and it's dagged. Dagged means it has those leaf-like cuts in it. And what happened was, now people wore that. In fact, it was a very popular, rather than the long riding hood that they talk about, this type of short chaperone hood was actually more popular from going back to at least the 11th century. And that's why most people wore it. However, at some point, someone decided to, rather than like you see with this one here, this is a traditional looking chaperone, but someone finally decided, but if you actually look, it is an actual hood, with the dags. In fact, you can wear it like that, and I will show you here. Sort of like this. Now, as you can see, it's just a traditional hood. It's got the ear pipe or corvette goes all the way down the back. It's got this dagged cape or pate, as it's called, over the front. Now, of course, originally this hood would have been just a traditional hood. It wouldn't have had this stuffed round turban-like part that's here around my face. That's called a barrelet, and that actually come much later. But what happened was, people were wearing these traditional hoods like this, and they've been wearing them for centuries. And then finally, someone along the way decided, rather than to wear it like that, hey, it's kind of hot out. I'm going to wear it. I'm going to stick it on my head like this. I'm going to wear it like that and just stick it on top of my head. Sometimes it was even open at the top. So, they stuck the face part on top of their head. And that innovation really took off. And finally, what eventually happened, originally it was just like a regular hood, the opening of the hood. However, later on, people did stuff, and they added this round part to make it more like a hat, called the barrelet, as I said. So, and that's the traditional type that we have here. Now, you're like, Tim, this is crazy. What would anybody want to wear this hat? Why do you are promoting this hat? The reason I'm promoting it is because it is so versatile, and it looks so kind of cool. And I like things that you can wear, that you can change up, that you can do different things with. That's, just like if I wear a jacket, I can change it with a shirt. I can change it with a tie. I can change it with the right type of vest. It changes the whole look. With this hat, there are so, kind of like with a fedora, there's so many different ways you can wear it. A fedora, you can turn the brim down, turn it up, turn it down the back, turn it down the front. So many different ways to have it to give it a different look. You can get at least 5 types of looks wearing this hat. I want to show you a few of them. So bear with me. Now, you could just wear it in the traditional way, and it can be a little bit stubborn to play with here. Yeah, I could just wear it in the more traditional way, where it's just like this, and you got the air pipe or corvette, whichever you want to call it, hanging down on one side. And I would have, in fact, I can turn. Notice, typical of me, it's blue and red, and I'm wearing blue and red. Of course, I'm going to match. So, you could just, like that. You could just wear it the traditional way with this hanging down, and this. Well, notice it's dagged, the blue and the red, and I could do that. It does match my clothing, So, it's you can wear it like that, or there's different ways you can do it. You could also gather it on top like this, throw this over on top, kind of arrange it the way you want it, like this on one side, get the dags the way you want it. Take the strap around like this, like that. Well, yeah, I want the red part out. So take it around like this. Oh, this is probably hitting my microphone, but whatever. And up and around like this. Tuck it either, you can tuck this in the back or let it hang, and you get this look. Imagine walking up in the party. Hi, how you doing? Yes. You know, yeah, you know, how sales going? Yes, you know, I'm you know, the business is going well. I guess, you know, so, you know, this is very stylish here. So, and you see pictures, people wore them like this. This is kind of like a little bit of a turban form. Or you could take this part here and you could take it around and under like this. Excuse me, the back side here. Go around and under like that. And you kind of get that look like this, or you have, it's just this part's here, and you can let this hang, or you can throw it over your shoulder like that. Hi, how you doing? You know, completely changes up the look. Or, you know, and that's, you know what? I'm liking this. I think it's looking good, and it really goes with this outfit. You know, or you could just wear it. You could actually throw, say you want to go more of a turban style. You throw the pate in the back like this, and you throw the whole thing in the back and just wear it like that, you know, kind of spread it out. You can see, and I can wear it like that. It gives it a whole another look, you know. It's kind of a turban look there. You got a little bit of the hood falling out. You see that worn that way. Or you could just pull this to the front like that with that there. Or I could loop it up and around like this, and still has the same look. Notice that the pate's in the back. Or I could actually. There's a way you can take, and this will be a little complicated. You can take and you can kind of tie the two together like this. Bear with me. This could be a little hard to do without a mirror. Tie the two together like this. Throw that in the back. And it kind of gives it, I screwed that up. Let me try it again. Okay, it kind of gives it this, if you do it right, there we go. Put it through, tighten it up, throw that in the back. You know, you took this in the back, and you kind of get this kind of turban on top of your head, and you see that sometimes. You know, and this you can wrap all the way around like this. So, and it can actually have this built-up turban look. You took it in the back, so you can walk in there like this. You know, that's a big hat. Walk in like this, and that kind of tossed together almost gives it a spezzatura look to a very old hat. So you can wear it like this, and we have examples of people wearing like this, like John van Eyck, the famous painter. He's wearing that style, almost like this built-up turban style. So there, like I said, and you know, so there are a lot of ways to wear this hat, and I just think it looks kind of cool. Of all the ancient old hats, you know, and like I said, you can just wear it like this, you know. So you can wear it like that. Of all the ancient hats, the old hats, the ones I wish that could really come back, because you could play it up, you know, if you were going out for something, you know, really formal affair, you know, it's almost, you almost giving a man women's like hair. You know how women do up their hair for big events and proms and galas. You can do up your hat that way, and you could really match with her. You know, oh, we got to go. You know, we wear it like this, and you know, you wear it like this, and then all of a sudden, oh, we got a gala. Okay, well, let me just throw her. You know, let me just throw this up here. Get this the way we want it here. Yeah, let's just get that up, and I'm going to take this right over, and you know, and yeah. Let's go, darling. Yeah, let's go. You know, or you could be a little more official with it and just throw it all back. All right, there we go. A little more, and there we are. You know, so there's just so many different ways that you could wear this hat. Also, sometimes they put a little bling on it. They put some, you know, some brooches or little diamonds and rubies on it, and of course that just add to it. Actually, wear that sometimes. You see this picture. So you know, so I just absolutely love this hat. and I like wearing it to events. So, and I wish, yes, I could just show up at the business party wearing this hat, maybe still, you know, get a few photographs made, and start a new Chaperone hat craze. Hey, crazier things have happened, right? But yes, if I could bring any old hat back, it would be the Chaperone hat. Okay, gentlemen, that's all I've got for this installment of If I Could Bring It Back. Both the something practical and something just completely unpractical but extremely fabulous. the pouches and the Chaperone hat. So, and hey, if you're enjoying this channel and watching some of my goofy antics like this, my experiments, then please, you know, hit this little King Henry head and give me a join. And while you're at it, you know, give me a like. I'd love to have you in my subscription, and you know, because I love communicating with my fans and my subscribers. So you know what, until you know, don't limit yourself. It's always good to experiment. As I've said, we have so many suit clothes out there, the same outfit, the same, you know, blue and gray, you know, and black and charcoal, and white shirt and the ties, you know, and all that, blah 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 blah. As you've seen, I like to change things up. I like to, you know, you know, whether it be with pocket squares or you know, or cravats, or different types of patterns and different types of materials, you know, and combinations and color coordinations. I like to see things changed up to get away from that looking like in that conformist suit look. And you know, I think that if I walked up into a dinner wearing this, I'm definitely going to stand out from the crowd. Of course, there is still a little bit of conformity, and I wouldn't do that, you know. But sometimes it takes a vanguard in fashion to start something. Somebody had to first wear a tie. Somebody had to first put on a bowler hat. Someone had to first put on a fedora. So you know, someone had to wear their pants a little high to show off and wear some striped socks. Somebody had to be that vanguard. Don't be afraid to be that vanguard. I'm not talking about wearing a medieval hat or, you know, or a pouch, but do something to change things up. Do something that's a little daring, you know, a little different. You know, do something that brings you personal style. And when we look into the past and other styles, sometimes you can bring some of that stuff back. And that's what I tried to. I tried to not so much bring this hat back, but to kind of show you that something like this could still work in modern fashion and society. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and you know what? So go out, experiment, get you some interesting hats, get you a Chaperone hat, head to a medieval fair, and while you do it, you stay pretty, just like I am in this hat.